What's up guys, I'm James Withy, and today we're going to talk about 3 different ways to improve the quality of your skin for tattooing. Okay, so as you can imagine, tattooing is a really complex process, and there are a lot of different variables that can affect the outcome of a tattoo very significantly. Some of these variables are within an artist's control, some of these variables are outside of an artist's control, and probably the biggest variable that I can think of that's outside of a tattoo artist's control that could really significantly affect the outcome of a tattoo is how healthy the client's skin is at the time when that tattoo is executed. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys why it's so important for a client to have healthy skin for the tattoo process, and I'm also going to give you guys 3 tips that you can employ to make sure that your skin is healthier and more fit for tattooing. So, healthy skin is much easier to tattoo than unhealthy skin for a lot of different reasons. The ink will go into the skin more predictably if the skin is healthy. The tattoo will tend to get a better heal overall if it's healthy. And also it's easier for a tattoo artist to work on a tattoo without overworking the skin if that skin is healthy and can take lots of punishment from the needle as it's penetrating. Penetrating, James? Does that sound sexual, Nicole? Yes. It does, huh?
I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck.
So those are some of the reasons why it's important for a client to have healthy skin for the sake of tattooing if they want the best possible outcome in the tattoo. I know that there's a lot of variables that will influence how healthy your skin is that cannot be controlled by the client. Like oftentimes, if people are above the age of 50 or 60 years old, their skin's gonna have less elasticity just because of old age. Or if somebody has like a bunch of scar tissue because they got in a motorcycle accident or something, that's really not anything the client can influence after that deed is already done, after they've gotten into that accident. But there are a few different things that you can do as a client to make sure that your skin is in the best possible shape that you can put it in before a tattoo session, and I'm gonna list those things for you now. Okay, so tip number 1 is you wanna stay out of the sun. I feel like this is something that's like pretty commonly known amongst people that are heavily tattooed or people that do tattoos, but for the general public out there, I feel like this information needs to be put out that one of the hardest skin types to tattoo on for tattoo artists is going to be like really sun-beaten skin that's very leathery and like been sun-baked over the course of many years. Whether that's like natural sources of sun, like if you're, you go to the beach a lot, or if you're a surfer, or if you like work outside or something like that, doing roofing for a living, or whether it's artificially, damaging your skin with UV rays like in a tanning booth or something like that. Basically what happens with skin that is more sun-beaten and is a little bit more tan than what would be considered healthy for the sake of tattooing is that skin acts very much in the same way that skin would if somebody had skin that was very aged. Like if somebody was 65 years old, if you put that person next to the person that works every single day up on a roof and their forearms are always exposed to sunlight and they have gotten quite a bit of a tan over the course of many years, their skin for the purpose of tattooing is going to be largely the same in the way that it acts when that needle goes in and out. So it's really important that if you have this type of situation where, like I said, you surf a lot, or if you like to tan a lot, or if you work outside, it's important that you do your best to reverse the damage that's been done to your skin through like all that different exposure to UV rays. So a really great example of this is one of my clients, Joe. We're doing a 3/4 sleeve. We actually just finished a 3/4 sleeve on him like last week. When he first came in, his skin was very much like this, where it was like really like ridiculously tanned. It was very dark. It was very, didn't have a lot of elasticity to it. And Joe is a guy that he's like a construction supervisor, and he works outside like on the side of the road all day, every day. And he had quite a bit of a tan because of that. But what he did is he reversed the process by beginning to wear long sleeve cotton shirts to work every single day for the like several months that was leading up to his tattoo session. So he came in and scheduled his appointment, and in between his consultation and his actual appointment, he wore that long sleeve for a very long time and ended up actually reversing a lot of the damage that had been done to his skin prior, so that when he came in for his tattoo session, even though his skin wasn't like totally exactly the same way as it would have been if he hadn't done all that tanning his whole life, it was still in pretty good shape, and we were able to get a very nice realistic tattoo with a high amount of saturation in that piece. So long story short, do not tan intentionally if you plan on getting tattooed in the areas where you're tanning. And if you do have to be out in the sun and you really have no way around it, then make sure that every single time that you're exposed to the sun, you're using a very high SPF sunblock. And if you do that, then you're probably going to be in pretty good shape, or at least better shape than you would have been if you didn't follow these instructions. Tip number 2, you want to make sure that you're putting lotion on the area of the body that you intend to get tattooed on daily.
It rubs the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told.
So, earlier I was talking about elasticity, and I was talking about how important it is to have nice, soft, supple skin for tattooing, because it makes it so that the ink goes into the skin more predictably at the time of application, and it also makes it so that the skin can take more punishment from that needle when it's going in and out before it gets overworked. Now, it doesn't really have to be anything fancy as far as lotions go. You don't have to get a special kind like an eczema lotion or anything like that. Just get like a regular, decent quality lotion and apply that to the area that you intend to get tattooed on every day all the way up until the tattoo appointment. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep your skin obviously softer, more youthful. It's going to make it so that your skin is more fit for tattooing at that time of the appointment. But one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to put a bunch of lotion on your skin the day of the tattoo. And the reason for that, it's like a really big rookie mistake that people make when they're first getting their tattoos. The reason for that is because if you put a lot of lotion on the area that you're going to get tattooed the day of, the oils from that lotion can remain on the surface of the skin, and basically when the tattoo artist is applying the stencil, they can prevent the stencil from binding totally to the surface of the skin, because it kind of creates like a little oily layer in between the surface of the skin and the stencil. Now that makes the stencil wipe off faster than what the tattoo artist intends. So not only that, but there could be like things in the lotion that maybe you don't want to be pushed into your skin when the needle's actually puncturing and making that stuff go from the surface of your skin to under the surface of your skin. So, depending on what kind of lotion you're using, it's possible there's ingredients in there that you don't want to be inside of your skin instead of just on top of your skin. So, it's not a good idea to put lotion on the day of the appointment. That day, just leave it dry. But definitely in the weeks and the months up until that appointment, you want to go ahead and put lotion on daily. Tip number 3 is that you want to make sure that you're exfoliating the area that you intend to get tattooed on a regular basis. This is really important because oftentimes, instead of the skin just being dry, there will actually be dead skin cells on the surface, like covering up all the healthy skin cells in an area on the body. Now this happens a lot with people that have professions where a certain area of their body, like their hands for instance, are exposed to a lot of friction or heat, or maybe both over long periods of time, and their skin will just become like a lot rougher in those areas, and as a result they like kind of build up this layer of dead skin on the surface that just won't hold ink in a very predictable way, even if a tattoo is executed perfectly. Now I've run into this problem many times with people particularly that are looking for hand tattoos. Oftentimes people will look for hand tattoos and they'll have a job where they are working like construction, or maybe they'll be like a motorcycle mechanic or something like that, and they'll have a profession where they're exposing their hands or that area of the body they're looking to get tattooed over and over to a bunch of heat and friction. And nowadays, before I take one of those projects on, I inspect the skin very carefully on the hands just to make sure that it doesn't have that rough type of skin that I associate with being very difficult to get a predictable heel on, because those type of hands, they just won't get a predictable heel no matter how many times you pass over it, no matter how good of a job you do. Oftentimes that ink will just straight fall out and that skin will peel a lot more heavily than healthy skin would. And then underneath, they'll be exposed a little bit more of a healthy layer of skin, but it's still not enough unless that person exfoliates on a regular basis. So the layer of skin that's, constantly regenerating is as supple as possible. Now, as far as what you should exfoliate with, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can go all out and get like products that are meant for exfoliation, like apricot scrub and all that sort of stuff. Or you can just do it like with a loofah. If you have a pretty rough loofah, you can just go ahead and make sure that you're rubbing on that area. Obviously you don't want to go all crazy and rub your fucking skin raw, but you can do it enough to where over a long period of time, many months, your skin will improve in its health and be better for a tattoo. So with this sort of thing, like don't look for an overnight difference as far as the exfoliation. You're not going to be able to make your skin healthier for tattooing within a couple days or something by exfoliating it really heavy. Most likely you're just going to fucking, hurt yourself and scrape yourself up quite a bit. But if you keep this in mind and you do this over the course of, several weeks or maybe even months, then it's probably going to make your skin a lot better for tattooing, and you're going to be in better shape when it comes time for your appointment. So that's about it for today's video, guys. What we have discussed here today is why it's important to have healthy skin for tattooing, and also I've given you guys 3 tips on what you can do as clients to make sure your skin is in optimal condition prior to your tattoo appointment. Now, I know these are pretty simple steps. You know, there's nothing real crazy going on in this video. I'm just telling you guys to put lotion and exfoliate your shit. But using these simple methods will go a long way in making sure that your skin is in top shape before your appointment. So before I conclude this video, I want to let you guys know that my nationwide tour for tattoo expos is about to start pretty soon. As a matter of fact, it already started. We just did the Grand Canyon Tattoo Expo last month in January. My entire shop went over there and we had a pretty good showing. We won 4 awards in 3 different categories, with myself taking 2nd place in large black and gray. Now, the next one that I'm going to be doing is the Philly Expo. I think that's happening on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of this month. I'll correct it if that's wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna be over there in Philly. I am totally booked for that show, so unfortunately I won't be able to, you know, fit in any appointments for that one. But if you guys wanna stop by the booth and say hi, you're more than welcome to. I have a bunch of other shows that I'm gonna be doing this year. A bunch of them are in the Midwest and the East Coast. You know, I'll be doing Detroit, Boston, fucking New York City a couple times, amongst others. And I still have other ones that I'm gonna be adding into the mix later that I'm on the fence about right now. So in a few weeks here, my website, my personal website should be done, and that's gonna have a list of my travel schedule and all the dates and everything on there. So I'll go ahead and I'll make a video announcing when that website's done, so that if you guys need to, you know, contact me if you're looking to get tattooed, or if you just wanna see all my shit consolidated in one place, that'll be the spot. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Trying to provide as much useful information for you guys as possible, and I felt like this is a really important one to make sure that people get better tattoos out there. So I'll try to get another one together for you guys next week before I head out to Philly, but if not, I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya. People don't know that. Only I know that.